Hey everyone, welcome back. We are diving into some fascinating stuff today. We're going to be looking at a young adult fiction author. Her name is RocJane,
Ooh, RocJane.
and we found her, actually, through a podcast,
Uh,
Exploring Young Adult Fiction.
okay.
That's where we first heard of her.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that really struck me initially is her background is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, she's not your typical author, is she?
Not at all.
I mean, in terms of just the variety in her background, I was
Yeah.
kind of looking through, she lists reading and traveling, which, I mean, who doesn't? If you're a writer, that seems pretty standard.
Right.
But she also lists, like, designing,
Yeah.
volunteering, photography.
And it makes you wonder how do those things all come together
Yeah.
in her writing? And looking at her books, I mean, even just the titles. We've got Prairie Pioneer, The Story of a Young Cowgirl.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like straight up historical fiction there. And then there's Vanished, 1590, The Lost Colony Roanoke, VA.
Ooh, now that's an interesting one.
Right. That could
I feel like there's some mystery in there.
mystery. Historical fiction.
Maybe some supernatural elements.
Oh, maybe.
Who knows?
Right. And then there's The Boy Who Blossomed, A Runway to Success.
Now, what's that about?
I don't know. That could be anything. Like, I don't even...
It's so intriguing, though, Ralph.
She's super intriguing.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny. You mentioned Vanished.
Yeah.
Because in the podcast episode, RocJane actually talked about how her own travels, and particularly she mentioned traveling to like isolated communities,
Wow.
Influenced her portrayal of the Roanoke colonists.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Because she said that she got really interested in like,
The psychology of isolation.
yeah, and how that might have fueled like desperation and paranoia.
Oh, that's fascinating when you're...
I love that she's pulling from her own experiences
Uh-huh.
like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. To make history come alive. It really is. And it makes you wonder, like, with the photography, how that factors into it. It's like she's able to connect all these seemingly random things
Yeah.
to weave a richer story.
Absolutely. So in the podcast, they talk about how her goal with her writing, with young adult fiction, is to encourage curiosity,
Oh, for sure. And resilience?
resilience, personal growth.
Make them think for themselves a little bit.
Yes. And it's not just about like delivering a message.
Right.
It's that her stories like challenge you to think outside the box. Like
Wow.
even, I mean, look at this title, The Great Tomato Challenge, a time-traveling adventure. How do you make gardening exciting?
And time travel. With tomatoes.
Yeah. It's gotta be good. The host of Exploring Young Adult Fiction, the podcast, really praised her ability to kind of weave humor
Oh, yeah.
and historical facts into these fantastical scenarios.
She makes it fun,
Yeah.
but she doesn't shy away from the complex topics either.
Right.
Even in the books that seem a little more lighthearted. I was looking at The Smart Banana Gardeners. That one actually deals with environmental sustainability
Wow.
and community activism.
I mean, those are big topics.
Huge topics.
Right.
And she's doing it through the lens of, like, a group of kids
Wow.
trying to save their local banana plantation.
So she's really making it accessible
Yeah.
to young people
Sure.
to get them thinking about these things.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's really cool. It really is. And, you know, it made me think about, like, the books I read as a kid
Oh, totally.
and how much they shape your worldview. Like, do you have any books from when you were younger that really stick out in your memory?
Oh, absolutely. I was really into a historical fiction series that was set during the French Revolution.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't even remember what it was called now, but I was so captivated by the characters
Yeah.
and the decisions they had to make,
Oh, yeah.
the moral dilemmas. Really got me thinking about history and social justice.
Totally.
And I think that's what a good story can do, right?
Absolutely.
It sticks with you,
Yeah.
sometimes for years.
For sure. So for our listeners out there, if you're looking for some young adult fiction that's both entertaining and thought-provoking,
You got to check out RocJane.
check out RocJane.
She's got a presence on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, she does.
And of course, you can find all her books on her Amazon author page.
Yes. Go check her out.
And as you do, I want you to think about when you're reading her books, or even if you go back and read some of your favorites from your childhood, think about what is it about these stories that resonated with you?
Yeah.
What made them stick? Because I think those insights can really tell us a lot about ourselves and the power of stories.
Yeah.
The power stories have to shape the way we see the world.
So well said. I think that's a great place to leave it. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.
And until next time, happy reading.
Yes, happy reading.